When I see a blank canvas, anything is possible. I find out that it's easier for me to express through art than words sometimes, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. I've been a professional artist for the past 12 years, in which I develop a very unique style, but also I come across a lot of unexpected challenges in the art world, which are not only about creating art. When you're starting any journey, people tell you that you need to be good at what you do. You need to learn, you need to study, you need to be a master. And that's true. But that's only 10% of what needs to be done in order for you to be successful. We are not here to talk about art. We are here to talk about life. We are here to talk about creativity beyond the canvas. When you're an architect, you graduate and you go work for a firm. When you're a doctor, you do the same, but you go work for a hospital or to a clinic instead. When you're an artist, there's not a clear path to follow in order for you to be successful. The most common thought is that you need to be represented by an art gallery. The issue is that most art galleries won't represent you if you don't have gallery experience, which is a catch-22. I'm talking about the other 90%. The other 90% that most of us don't want to do. To give you some examples, going to places we don't want to go just because we need to be seen. Talk to people we don't want to talk to, but we need to build a solid network. Learn how to talk to people in media. Understand that the way you carry yourself may potentially bring you opportunities if you're doing it the right way. Just to name a few, but those are the 90% of things that most of us don't want to do just because it is outside our comfort zone. It took me years to make it so that it doesn't exist anymore. We need to know and understand that we need to be comfortable by being uncomfortable. As a matter of fact, I'm getting comfortable right now by being uncomfortable just by talking to you guys here on stage. But I wanted to show you what needs to be done in order for you to grow. We need to develop a very thick skin in order to be able to take criticism when it's right and also to ignore it when it doesn't have foundations. We all need to be resilient, but we need to know that we can build up from criticism when it comes from the right place. In 2016, LeBron James won the championship for the Cleveland Cavaliers, fulfilling the promise he did to the city to bring a championship to it. It allowed me to put him and include him in my Lords of the Rings collection, so I created The Promise. A painting that became viral as soon as I posted it online. Millions of shares, millions of likes, millions of comments throughout social media. So I took the opportunity that it was so prominent and started to use it in my collaterals, for my events, for my exhibitions, for whatever show I had. One of them being a hip hop festival in downtown San Diego. As a part of the festival, as a featured artist, I would be painting live for the main talent. And as a part of the festival, I was invited to the media and news segment on Friday. As you can see, while I was being interviewed, the painting was placed prominently behind me, letting people know that it was going to be a part of the exhibition. As the event went on and the festival happened, I finished the piece and I went to present backstage to the rapper. While I was getting back to my booth, to my surprise, the painting was gone. Someone stole it. With that in my head, I had to wait for the police in order for me to, fill out my report. I've always been a big advocate in turning the negative into a positive. So I was trying to think how to do that in that circumstance. I remember how prominent the painting was while I was being interviewed. So I reached back out to the news station because I knew that they would be interested in doing a follow-up story, which they did. I remember I was joking while being interviewed that maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday someone will post it online and we will know who have it. Lucky me, I didn't have to wait more than 3 days. Someone posted a screenshot online saying the souvenir that they took from the concert. So I'm like, all right, that's fun. So I started to gather all the information that I could. So by the time the police reached back to me to follow up with the report, I already had everywhere where he went, all the restaurants that he went even. So I handed out the information. When the police follow up with a call saying that they caught the thief, they had him. Unfortunately, he destroyed the painting because he wanted to get rid of evidence. So they were calling me to see if I wanted to press charges because it was grand theft, since it was a very expensive piece. So I just told them, just tell them to pay it in full and we should be good. I thought that was the end of it. Following him up 5 years later, when I received an email from Warner Brothers saying that they wanted to use The Promise into the upcoming movie Space Jam 2, making me one of the few Latino artists with original artwork in a Hollywood film. That's very cool. Thank you. Thank you. While that was happening, the world was facing their own tragedies. COVID hit us hard. And as a person that makes his living going out to events, exhibitions, galas, I had to adapt to the new reality where we were locked in. I remember back in college, I used to hate digital art. I thought that it was cheating. But COVID gave me the opportunity to understand that if you use all the tools that you have at your reach and use it in your advantage, something good will come out of it. We need to use the tools and not shy away from them. And that's what I did. I created my own universe in which I would be able to animate all the illustrations that I would make. But most importantly, I developed my app in which it would allow me to bring my pieces to life. And with that, I became one of the few artists in the world at the time to be successful at fusioning art and technology in a commercial area. These pieces right here come to life when you use your app. Now, one of the most important things that I also understood was the use of our community, because everyone has one. And as soon as I understood that, everything changed, because now I have the power to create events, to create things for our community where I can bring local vendors, my local restaurants, my local friends to be a part of my events, where we all can benefit of it. In a collaboration with a major retail mall, I was able to create and develop a gallery, full-on interactive and immersive, for everyone of our community to be a part of, with the end game and end goal to be a platform for not only local but international artists so they can exhibit their work. That's the power of creativity beyond the canvas when it's applied to your daily life, because you have the power to create solutions of any situation where you're at. It doesn't matter what's your industry. And to me, that's what Hidden No More represents. To be brave, to understand that you can have and create any opportunity if you connect the dots, just keeping in mind to moving forward and always to grow. Thank you.